word.
Can I be heard?
John?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Jeremy's here.
Can I be heard?
Yes.
You can be heard.
Okay.
Where y'all's video?
I look like shit, man. I look like
It's no different from normal.
Yeah, exactly. No, I look worse than normal.
Dude, we all
All
look
the better
bad.
to
Just
see.
show your face, man.
I can't show you my face because
Jeremy, you're
I
fine.
tried.
I know your
I
face
tried
is
to.
not gonna be shown.
Yeah. It's fine.
Oh my God. Terrible.
I couldn't get it to work on my phone.
That's
so
going on
I-
the internet. That's a face for radio, man.
Like it keeps telling me I have to update it, and then I change my settings. Long story short, I'm doing it on my computer because.
Well,
fuck
you
the phone.
sound good. You don't sound like bad like you usually do on your cell phone. So
True. It's because I've got a HyperX headset.
nice. I have my headset too.
That's weak sauce compared to my
No,
gaming god device.
Mine's this.
Weak sauce.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
You do sound a lot better than I do, I think. Yeah, I can hear you, John.
Yeah, we can all hear you.
Are you using those? He tilts his head so we can see
They're called AirPods, bro.
the AirPods. Are those the AirPod Pros? Or just the AirPods?
They're pros.
So they stick in your ear holes?
I'm flattered. Yes.
You're fine. Okay.
Hmm.
Well, we'll do like an intro. I'll do an intro. My name's Max Ward. I am the person who draws stuff for the comic thing. I'm joined by John Cohen, the creator of Clark the Cat, and
Howdy.
and fellow writer, and then Jeremy Robbins, the creator of, I don't know if we should name the project. Up to you. It's called Project Tartera. The creator
Call it that.
and writer of that. So what's going on, guys? Haven't seen you, John, in a while. So I haven't really spoken or seen you in a while. Jeremy, I play games with pretty much most days.
I've been good, man. Been navigating being back in Texas. It's frustrating with the pandemic and everything. Trying to make sure that I'm safe and not going out where I shouldn't be, and quarantine as much as possible. But yeah, things are good. I'm staying busy.
I've got a new job.
What is it? You told me last time. And
I'm working for an
remember.
ophthalmologist. I'm basically answering the phones for an ophthalmologist.
What's that? What's an ophthalmologist again?
It's not. It doesn't get much more interesting than that. So.
What's an ophthalmologist?
It's something for now.
What's an ophthalmologist?
It's a medical eye doctor.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm sure
So,
that
like-
was a dumb question.
Yeah. It's like the psychiatrist to a psychologist. Even though actually optometrists actually have to go to school for 4 extra years after college. And they're like eye doctors, but ophthalmologists are like actual medical doctors who specialize in eyes.
Sounds good, man. Nice. Sounds
Cool.
like you're staying busy. I'm doing a political stuff. I'm getting involved with local Dallas Democrats and the Democratic Socialists, the North Texas branch. So staying busy. Black Lives Matter.
Yes, indeed.
We know
Texas
what's
is
going to
getting
be.
rocked, dude.
The NBA is coming back, right?
And
I guess that's a transition from Black Lives Matter. No, but they're like the
Don't hold your
NBA
breath.
jerseys are gonna have.
Don't hold
The
your breath.
NBA jerseys are gonna all have like sayings on them, like promoting equality.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
When is this happening? When is the league
when
coming back?
at the end of this month, the NBA is coming back.
When did
but,
they announce that?
July 20th, right? July
I
20th.
did not know that.
They're doing it in the worst possible state you could fucking pick. They're doing it in Florida, and
Dude, that's not happening. There's no way.
they're gonna bring a bunch of
It's going on in Orlando.
20 to 35-year-old millionaires and make them be celibate for 2 months and play only basketball and just stay inside the bubble. It's gonna work. It's
not
gonna be
happening.
fine. No one's gonna get coronavirus.
If one person gets
And I'm
it,
gonna
the
get to
whole
watch
thing is off.
NBA basketball without fans making noise. So you're just gonna be able to hear whatever the players say, except they're gonna mute it because they're gonna have to. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Can we take bets on whether or not this happens?
It's already in plan.
Yeah.
They still got a whole month for the virus to kind of like chill for a little bit. They get tested every day, so they have to have one of those swabs shoved up their nose every morning.
Awful.
They shove it all the way up into your.
I can't believe it's worth it.
I'd say it
the
is
league.
because,
Is
like,
it?
yeah, because, well, Dr. Fauci approved the NBA's plan, but then Florida exploded.
Yeah.
Yeah, Florida fucks this up, man. All they had to do was chill out. NBA would have been fine. Now Florida is fucked up. And
They're not
that's
even
good.
releasing. They're not releasing testing.
Oh yeah, that
data
guy
or
didn't die of the
something, right?
coronavirus. He died of pneumonia. It was
They're not.
pneumonia.
Yeah, they're being shady about their testing statistics.
Oh well.
I don't know.
Is this,
Terrible idea.
is this a political podcast all of a sudden?
No, it's not. No. It's the first episode of a whatever. We're just here to introduce you guys, honestly,
Yeah.
because I've been doing like my own drawing streams and videos and stuff, and I want to get you guys on there.
I definitely hope this is an audio. Whatever
No,
we put
it's-
this up on, I
well,
hope
okay,
it's
so-
strictly audio.
The plan is to.
John, you look fine. I'm gonna adjust.
You look great, man. You look great. The Zoom camera detracts 200 pounds, so
I've got like
you're paper thin. You're
Billy
Oh, John.
Thornton like malnutrition like vibe.
It makes the face skinny.
You've gone the
and then it,
opposite
like,
direction of me. I weigh like I'm pushing 200 right now, man.
Dude, turn that video on, man. I gotta see.
That's it. I wear it pretty well. I'm like 190.
When are you gonna get a webcam? You got all this nice equipment. You just
I
get
got-
like $130 webcam.
I will.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, now that I have a
Like
new
a 30
job, I
bucks.
feel justified in spending something like that. I'm also going to get a wireless mouse, okay?
Mm,
Because I don't like my mouse cord touching the desk, right?
mhm.
So we're gonna try to take it to the next level on shooters with a wireless mouse, the same one Shroud uses.
Cool.
My aim right now is at an all-time high. I might be past my prime in gamer years, but the stuff I'm pulling off is it's gonna come out eventually.
Now you just got to.
I've got 40, 50 clips, but some of them aren't good enough. Some of them gonna be scrapped.
You just got to get one of those keyboards that lights up rainbow colors, like every streamer has.
Keyboards are pointless. All right. All you need is a functioning keyboard. They add nothing to your gameplay. It's all about the mouse and the mouse pad and
So,
the
John,
monitor.
What's going on?
Yeah, it's all about the giant mouse pad.
Have you guys seen The Floor is Lava on Netflix? It's a
No.
lot of fun. I definitely recommend it. Watch an episode or two. It's a lot of fun. You got nothing else.
Chill.
Man, the thing
I
is, I
can't-
have like minor PTSD from the floor is lava because like
From a
some of the
child.
kids I hung out with in college wanted to play the game The Floor is Lava all the time, and I always felt extremely awkward participating. But if I wasn't participating, then I would do it. And I felt like, as a 19 to 21-year-old male, playing The Floor is Lava was too much of a younginish sort of thing. Because at that time, you're trying to find your identity as an adult, so that just coincides.
Wait, did you play this in your dorm rooms?
Yes, like one of the alpha girls of the group, one of the more outspoken
Mm-hmm. Alpha girl.
center of attention. Yeah. Well,
Uh-huh.
like an alpha female, I guess.
Yeah.
She would have us play that game, and it just, I don't
Okay.
know, wasn't my cup of tea. Wasn't my cup of tea.
I think that'd be pretty fun playing it like with the hallways and
Yeah, I don't know.
hiding out in someone's room. It's kind of oof.
It just felt. I just felt more awkward. But oh well.
So anyway,
What is that show about? Sorry.
isn't it like a Ninja Warrior thing?
Yeah, it's very similar. It's like a poor man's version of Ninja Warrior. It's like a DIY Ninja Warrior.
Or like the show Knockout?
Yeah, it's closer to that actually.
Yeah. It looks fun. I don't know. I've been yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say the new Unsolved Mysteries is really good too. If you're into true crime or documentaries or anything like that.
Who narrates that?
It's there's no narrator. It's just yeah.
That's weird.
So, I listened to a bunch of true crime podcasts.
I do too. I've gotten into true crime. What are you listening to?
Just like stuff about, bad people. like, whatchamacallit, like Ed Kemper, like serial killers, stuff like that. I don't listen to that anymore. It's not a good first impression. That's why I didn't want to mention it. But
I've been
I
listening
recommend
to
Serial.
it's pretty like, I don't know.
Yeah, I've been listening to the last podcast on the left.
Yeah, that's really
That's
good.
really Ted.
Our friend Danny's recommendation. It's pretty good. It's ridiculous. I'm going down like a conspiracy rabbit hole for fun. It's been great.
You familiar with Bob Lazar?
No. It sounds familiar.
John, you gotta know who Bob Lazar
It
is.
Of
sounds
course, my guy. I fuck with Bob Lazar. Max.
You don't know who Bob Lazar was. He's like the Area 51 guy, right? He
Doesn't
sounds
he-
extremely plausible.
Is he?
but-
The guy who hosted Coast to Coast, isn't that him?
I don't think he hosted anything, man.
Is he the guy with like a head that's shaped like an egg, and then he's got like glasses?
Yeah,
He's kind of skinny. Yeah, I know who that is.
he looks like me in like 30 years.
If you got
Like
circular
that.
glasses,
5 years, not 30.
5. He's 61, bro.
How old are
That's
you?
the way you're eating. I'm kidding. Man. I'm fucking kidding. With
How old are you guys?
29.
I
20,
know, 29.
depressing, 30 plus. Disney Plus. That's how old I am, you guys. Close to 40,
Sorry. Unfair question.
but far from 29. So
Anyways,
So what's it like being almost 30? Yeah, Jeremy, how do you feel about that?
horrible.
Because I just turned 29 2 weeks ago.
I feel horrible about it, and I don't.
Words
It's
here?
like doom. It's like the world is ending. It's
Jeremy, are you 30
yeah, isn't
yet?
that crazy? How
No.
would you? No, that's what.
But
it's like-
it's seems like me turning 30, the world is ending though because of coronavirus and
Yeah, it's like there's only
other
so
things,
much.
social injustice.
I'm 25. I have no idea what you guys are going through, so I've got a few more
You
years.
lucky duck. No, it's just like there's only so much time, to do something important. So then you can look back and say, hey, I did that when I was in my 20s. That
Yeah.
feels good. And it's just that pressure was with
Yeah,
me
I'm
when I was
having
28, but now it's
At
like,
least I'm not 45 and having a midlife crisis, right?
says the eventual 45-year-old. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Don't assume
There's
anything.
a great there's a great episode in Mad Men where I don't know if you guys have seen it, but Pete is going through a midlife crisis and he's like hitting on this weirdly young like girl. Kind of a weird episode, but he's like, all this age Like I just wish that all this age and all this experience like meant something, but instead I'm just this like sad, old, balding, it's like really depressing. But it's true. It's like the midlife crisis, like all this
Yeah.
age and experience you have
Well, I
would
think
not
I've
really
Hey,
matter anymore.
aging,
actually
aging.
surpassed the balding threshold compared to other relatives. So I might be good in that department for a while.
Hmm.
Still good. Still got a receding hairline, but it seems to be like stabilized. Like a stabilized receding hairline.
Yeah. My brother's had a receding hairline for like his entire life.
And he still
He's
looks
fine.
pretty young. Yeah.
He turns 40 soon, right? Or he is 40 currently.
He is, yes, he just turned, holy crap. Yeah, he just turned 40 in March. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay.
Can you believe
Enough
March
of
was this
depressing
year?
age. Sorry,
Can we
what?
can we talk about how March feels like it was 3 years ago?
It really, dude, like Monday feels like it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we're not far.
Ugh. Anyway, John, we should probably talk about like comics and what we're doing and stuff.
Yeah, let's talk about comics, man. I
Yeah.
feel like these are good conversations, but I want to jump into.
Downplay our conversation that we had. It's good.
I'm just insecure because I felt like I couldn't contribute to the meat
No,
of this
you're
conversation.
you're doing great job.
Thank you.
Great job.
Yeah.
Steak. Steak
Yeah.
is good.
One thing I learned doing uh, so far, just drawing on Twitch, is that no one watches, and it doesn't matter. And like you can basically edit a video and you can make anything sound okay, look okay, and so it's pretty much doesn't mean you don't put effort in, but
Yeah.
I might stop
So,
doing those videos soon, but that's a whole other uh, topic.
so I'll fucking jump into Tartara right now. I don't know how
Okay.
much I should talk about though.
I feel like we should save it for a second though. Let's let's
Okay.
let's
Yeah,
let's, let's
because it is coming out after Clark.
we can
Yeah.
talk about it, but let's do Clark first.
All right.
Yeah. What are you thinking about talking about, man? What's
I just for someone, I mean, for everyone, no one knows what this story's about. I mean, I think personally there's a lot of startup comic books out there that have cool stories, but not to the level of detail that Clark has had in your head, and like the level of just the background and like the history with this story that you've had.
Oh yeah.
I don't
The
know. We should
best
just talk
part
about it.
is definitely the origin stuff. The origin stuff is super cool. And I think that's what gets people hooked, you know? Like
Yeah.
not his origin story, but like the mythology of
Ooh, yeah, the mythology. Yeah.
Yeah.
of
You're right.
Yeah, Clark's dude, I've had Clark in my head since like middle school, man. This was like the late 90s, early like 2000s. Clark has been with me for almost like 20 something years. And it's only been in the last 3 years we've actually like made stuff happen. So
Mhm.
it's really cool to have an idea as a kid and then like years later see it to come to fruition to some capacity. So it's really badass, man, that you and I were able to work together to get to this point where we're at now. I think and I'm fucking excited to see like where this goes potentially. I don't even know how to articulate this. That's how excited I am. I should get arrested for how excited I feel.
Whoa.
No, I'm kidding. I'm being a little weird. But yeah, I'm definitely excited about how far we've come, man, and excited to see where we go from here for sure.
Yeah, man. I think it's a long way off, but it's coming.
But I mean, 20 years before this point, I was just like a kid in middle school, like sketching this shit in like notepads and stuff in my little composition book. So it's pretty cool. Where
Can
we're
you,
at right now. So
yeah, can you talk about like what was like one inspiration that you had? I mean, like name like four different, I think, like inspirations.
You know how
Clark.
people have like their Star Trek or their Star Wars? They have these worlds that they've immersed themselves into when they were a kid.
Hmm.
Yeah, I have none of that. I have Power Rangers. Power Rangers is essentially like my Star Wars.
Power Rangers is a world. It's not a
It's
cohesive world.
it's
But it has its own.
funky. It's a funky TV show, man. It was weird spandex, weird puppets and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I feel like I have a weird way of like thinking about how stories work because my foundation was fucking Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Stories from nothing. Yeah.
VR Troopers, Power Rangers, Big Bad Beetleborgs, like these were like the foundation of like my imagination in childhood. So
Yeah, I mean, I watched Power Rangers for a long time.
The Asian influence.
for sure, man. I think what anime and manga are to some people, I had with live action Japanese shows, Tokusatsu, Kamen Rider, Godzilla. I mean, um, Gigantor to some extent. Yeah, my curiosity comes from a lot of shows that involve children and like giant robots. So like the Iron Giant was like a big influence on me.
Amblin, yeah.
Yeah.
Amblin, sort of.
Yeah. The idea that you can morph and or turn into like a superhero and use a robot to take down giant monsters, dude, fuck yeah, I'm in, man. Clark, the
Yeah,
foundation of
I-
Clark was in there, like with Batman and like other influences.
Dude,
The
listening
idea
to, yeah,
of being like smaller. Okay, I'll wrap it up real quick, but the idea that you can be so small and insignificant but stumble upon something and that can make you greater than what you are, like
yeah,
that's what Clark comes from, and that's where my heart was when I created Clark. The idea of you can be a nobody and become someone if you learn how to unlock that
yeah.
potential to be greater than you are. So I'm getting a little
That's
over dramatic here,
that's
but
super. No, I mean that's super powerful. Like I 100% am into that. That's like Star Wars for me, and like every hero's journey type story. Like I don't know, Aladdin even,
oh
or
yeah.
just like classic stories. Real good. One,
I think
funny watching that Netflix show, The Toys That Made Us, or was it The Movies That Made Us, or something? The episode about Power Rangers was just crazy. I mean, just this Japanese show and some executive over at wherever, I forget, was it Hasbro or was that later? Or I don't remember all the details, but just the fact that it just started from um, just
I think
some
it was
guy editing a video. I don't know. It's inspiring to me. Just like you can make something and pitch it and make nothing into something, which is really
yeah.
cool. I love that about Power Rangers. Guess that's
Haim
why.
Saban made Power Rangers. I think he's an Egyptian Israeli businessman. He was watching like a Japanese show in his hotel room, and then it like spawned from there. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna film American scenes and like splice it up with the Japanese footage." And lightning in a bottle struck, and then he was able to make a fortune from like that premise. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I mean, like for the we haven't even really hinted at this before now, but like the origin of the universe that Clark is in. I mean, is that like
It's pretty man. It's pretty
it's
nuts.
like Greek mythology meets I don't know, like I don't know, Lord of the
It's,
Rings.
yeah, I was gonna say
How
it's a
about
Saturday morning kids cartoon
it,
meets Lord of the Rings.
honestly? Have you any of you guys know the video game Ori and the Blind Forest?
Doesn't ring
I'm
a bell.
familiar.
Hmm. Well,
I'm familiar. I've
since
not
you guys don't
played it.
know it, well, Ori and the Blind Forest was a very like It was very like emotionally intuitive, like in tune with emotion as a video game, and the story in that kind of played out like it had powerful emotional tones to it, and that kind of reminds me of the mythology there, but it's almost like if you combined it a little bit with like Star Trek or Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know if that's spoiler stuff, but
It's
in
just
this
more. It's
in
like
the
if
sense,
Star Wars had a lore to it. I mean, Star Wars has like 60 years of lore, but that's it. It doesn't go all the way back. But this is like, you know,
Wait,
some
Star
weird.
Wars has 60 years of lore?
Well,
What, like,
okay, technically Star Wars also has like 4,000. I mean, KOTOR,
uh,
Knights of the Old Republic is 4,000 years ago, but like it's not really. I mean, it's mostly there's some lore to it, but this is
no,
like
but this origin
origin of
story
the
is like
universe.
this goes, yeah, this is a
um,
far more astronomical scale.
and we should say it focuses much more on like on deities and gods and sort of follows a very Greek mythic structure or yeah, and it's like, you know, one god got sad and so she broke up into a million trees and they became, you know, or like it's really metaphorical type stuff, which I think is really cool because we don't know if it's real or if it's just the mythology or the religion of the world, but the fact that it's like a Bible basically that eventually ends up mattering for the story we're telling, right?
oh, absolutely.
Down the road. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was reading Bullfinch. Speaking of mythology, Bullfinch is another Joseph Campbell, Carl Jung. Bullfinch's mythologies. I think a lot of that stuff was an influence on creating the foundation for Clark's origin story. Specifically, Joseph Campbell was phenomenal, man. Like not just the hero's journey, but how Campbell was able to look at other civilizations and how there were similarities between stories from like antiquities that connected that were universal. I don't know how to articulate all of this,
Yeah,
but yeah,
and he also explained ancient myths in like a very coherent way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
I think
so yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I think that resonates with me. Is something that's been talked about before, but like the idea of being an orphan or not having family or not having anything, just sort of that resonates deeply. I don't know why or how exactly, but like if you think about Batman or Luke Skywalker or even fucking Harry Potter.
Well, sometimes people feel, I think, foundationally like attached to families, and that can kind of constrict them. And
Yeah,
having no attachments can be freeing. It means you have more freedom,
yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that
which is
specifically.
kind of a sinister, like, I don't know.
I feel that too though with like writing stories, I'm always tempted to just get rid of the parents because they're like a whole other element that's like tying everything down. It's like and if Clark in the story like eventually leaves Earth, which he's gonna do, or
I
leaves
did.
his world that he's on, right? Then he's gonna like
Like,
leave behind parents, and it's like,
and a lot of people, there's in general the attitude nowadays is healthier in terms of parents like giving their kids more freedom. But a lot of people grew up with like, or and still do grow up with like, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, or their family life on the opposite end, their family life was just disjointed and unhealthy, right?
it's
Not that
kind of just,
the other,
well,
not there's a plenty different ways to have unhealthy dynamics to in a family, but some
it's
people
almost
would
like,
like to get out of that, I guess, in a way,
yeah,
freedom from that.
it's like you learn, the parents like teach the main characters like the lessons they need to learn, and then they get out of the way and they die, and then the main characters has those lessons, but is also a tragic figure, and it impacts their decision making going forward. It's just like, I mean, there's definitely a reason stories do it so much,
Um,
but
I agree with you guys up to a certain point, but I don't think family. I don't know. When I think of stories, I think about Batman, and I think about Bruce Wayne, and I think about how his family, his legacy still affects him. It's still he's still tied to his family, his mom and dad in certain capacities. So like even though they're not around, they still fuck with him in ways.
Still living on. Yeah.
Yeah, their lessons.
So like Sins of the Father, I think is a great point. Actually.
Uncle Ben.
Yeah,
Too.
that's a great example too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's obviously we love superhero stories, so Clark is basically a superhero story, right? I mean,
Yeah.
did you think of him that way when you were, or
When I
are
was,
we coming at it from a different sort of?
yeah, Clark.
He doesn't remind me as much of a superhero.
No,
He doesn't
Clark.
have superpowers.
I
Does
think it's
he?
still undefined.
He reminds me of more like.
It's still undefined. I don't think there's an answer to that question yet. I think that's
Yeah.
something we're still exploring, and that's okay that we don't have an answer, in my opinion.
Yeah, he reminds me of an anime character, like anime
He's just starting off.
main
like-
character. Yeah, who has no powers. He's got really nothing super special about him, but his attitude towards like life and his like enthusiasm and his compassion and stuff makes him a good character. But he doesn't have anything else going for him, really. He
He's
can play
pretty good at
music.
music.
jazz. He can play jazz, yeah.
I feel like with Clark though, we don't have his arch nemesis down quite yet, and I want that to be Dark Cat, but I don't think Dark Cat is quite. You know, like the Batman has the Joker, and Peter Parker has like the Green Goblin, and Luke has Darth Vader. I feel like Clark is missing that arch nemesis. Like who's the opposite of Clark? Who's the reverse Clark? Like the reverse Flash is for Barry Allen or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm being over dramatic in that
Well, they're
thought
gonna have to.
process.
Well, YouTube audience is gonna have to wait for that. Don't no spoilers.
Fair enough.
We should do honestly though. We should do maybe like exclusive more videos that are where we talk about story and like
Yeah.
go through our process of writing and coming up with pages and stuff like that. I mean, that might
sure.
be interesting for some people, or it might just be fun for us to do, like give us an excuse
I love talking about myself.
to talk about ourselves. I mean, this Patreon for me is an excuse to draw more, and I've drawn, I think, triple what I used to draw.
Well,
Being stuck in
your
quarantine,
drawing
you know.
is money right now. As a layman, though, I'm no artist, but like just looking at your drawings, they've been really, really good. So
Yeah, they've been phenomenal, man. I'm really
really
digging it
grinding.
so far.
Thanks, man. I feel a lot of good pressure when I'm streaming stuff, and I'm almost afraid to do it too much because I want to be able to draw without streaming. I don't want to get too used to it, but it does like add a cool pressure to everything.
Yeah.
It yeah, even though no one's watching, it's still cool. I think that's the best advice, like in being in quarantine, like put yourself out, put whatever you're doing out there. Like Jeremy, you're playing video games, like you're putting that out there.
kind of, yeah. I'm more like with the video games. I've got this whole plan, and I'm just gonna keep popping out clips, and eventually, it's gonna be YouTube. But
Hmm.
that's gonna be a long ways down the road. That's not like I'm gonna just put myself out there. Like I'm going to freaking jettison myself out into the atmosphere all at once. With
Yeah,
that.
I'm definitely
So
I admire that. But I do want to just see you. I just want to see something of yours on.
Yeah.
But I mean,
but
you do
this
have
week
clips.
I've been kind of laying back because I got a new job, and I honestly might develop carpal tunnel if I stay at this rate. So just been kind of chilling out.
Good. Yeah. Jeez.
Hey guys, quick announcement.
You're pregnant?
I had a job interview today,
Oh.
and it's in Boston as a substitute teacher. So I'll
Wow.
be coming back to New England.
Boston.
I applied for this position a while back to be a sub. This is a great convo about storytelling, you guys.
We haven't even said. Sorry, I don't think we've said you're. No, we've said you're in Texas. Go on.
Yeah, I had a job interview about potentially being a substitute teacher in Boston. I know schools may be opening in the fall real soon, so potentially looking at apartments around like Lawrence or Haverhill, Massachusetts, or someplace close to like the border of New Hampshire. Just throwing that out there, you guys.
Jeez, I didn't. It's the first time hearing of that.
Yeah, this happened today.
Great. That's great, dude. I don't know. Do you think school? I guess we'll have to see.
It could be virtual substitute teaching.
That'd be good.
Yeah, but it's really good money, and I don't know how you guys feel about maybe getting an apartment, or I know commuting from Portsmouth to Boston is can be, a process, but like I wanted to see where you guys are at in that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at my parents' house. I should say that. Like, just moved back from Chicago in December, and still there. Jeremy, you're still there. Like, John, you moved back to Texas for a bit. Like, I feel like when quarantine happened, like everybody I know just like moved back in with their parents.
Everything got derailed for sure, dude. I miss you guys. I do miss New England. I miss Cumbies. I think that's the main reason I want to come back to New England.
Right now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Cumbies is completely just packed full of the worst looking people. Not looking
like if Walmart had a convenience store, Cumbies would be that. That's problematic. What I'm saying is like very.
That's exactly what it is.
Socioeconomically problematic, I guess.
Not problematic. Totally true.
Yeah, well.
They don't. Let's just say they don't have not much regard for the coronavirus pandemic in there. They're all from Massachusetts.
Bunch of assholes.
Like Maine.
Bunch of Mainers, man.
It's like the first gas station they see, so they don't like want to go anywhere else. They just.
Yeah. But there's a creativeness to being around you guys that I'm lacking, and we can do the Zoom thing and what we can, digitally for sure. But I feel like, when we were working in like Tartera, there was like a creative spark that like happens in person that's like, to do on. I don't know. Maybe I'm being weird, but
you're right.
Sorry, I'm reading something on NBA Reddit right now.
Reddit.
He's reading during a pod.
All right.
I'm on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.
No. Are you guys aware of the new developments with the NBA besides the league coming back?
Yeah.
It's kind of a touchy subject, I guess.
Go on. Touch that subject.
Okay, fine. A football player, Deshaun Jackson, very talented football player, came out and requoted Hitler on Twitter.
Oh, shit.
And it's like some
What the heck? Knowingly? I mean, he didn't just misquote him.
No, it wasn't actually a real Hitler quote, but he thought it was Hitler, and it was some anti-Semitic stuff.
That's way worse.
And some NBA players have come out and like backed Deshaun Jackson and praised him for like the anti-Semitic comments, right? Like. And one of the comments on Reddit was one of the players that came out and said and supported the anti-Semitic comments and doubled down on it. He was directly connected to Black Lives Matter because he knew George Floyd personally, right? So someone on Reddit said, there's two things I hate, racism and I guess I should say Semites. It sounds bad if I say anything else. I don't know.
My God. Wow. I mean, not to.
You can cut that out if you want.
No,
that's video editing.
Definitely be edited.
I am not editing a single thing.
I will fucking edit it.
No editing. I refuse to edit.
I will chop the fuck out of this thing.
So we're not editing it at all. So the meetings.
I think I said that
end?
politely enough.
No,
but
that
I
was,
This is Cohen. I am
fine. I didn't-
sorry.
hadn't-
I apologize.
I had no idea. I had no idea that. Was
My
going on.
future.
Hey, Jeremy.
Back.
All right, yeah, our meeting got cut off because we're cheap and only have the free version of Zoom.
Yeah.
John is a slowpoke, as usual.
A
He's
little
coming
late
in.
to the party.
He's coming in, I think.
Going the guys on immediate.
But yeah, we're definitely leaving that in. I'm gonna check that story out. That's pretty a saucy news story. Jeez.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know. There's some like irrational belief that
That
Jewish folk are somehow like against blacks or in control of the economy because there's like a Jewish family that's like
don't. I
that
think
owns like the Rothsteins, right?
Mhm.
And like they're like these athletes are perpetuating some guy who's a member of like the Nation of Islam, who is like a known anti-Semite, has like some Zionist views.
That's just
Basically, it's just like some
surprising.
false ideology that some athletes have
That's just surprising. that that's the-
unfortunately fallen
Yeah.
into, I guess, fallen into that logical trap or illogical trap.
We live in a really. The world was not what we thought it was. Feels
like
like.
5 months ago.
Well, even. I mean, it's just. It feels like it just keeps getting worse. It's like a giant dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Burning
It's just
hellscape. So Trump coming to Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
yeah, I'm not
I
going
s-
outside the whole
so-
weekend.
Yeah, I signed up for his rally to skew the numbers a bit.
Oh, and you're not showing up?
Right. I guess it's being targeted again, just like Tulsa.
Oh, you
My
guys
little cousin did that too.
doing the Tulsa thing?
Yeah,
just,
I actually used my own phone number and like email and stuff. I don't care. John, you once signed me up for like 12 different GOP candidates, so I don't.
That's
email lists.
super sweet of you to think it was that many. My guy, it was way more than 12.
It was quite a few. I spent like, a couple hours deleting those.
Yeah, sorry about that, man. Thanks for still being my friend, though. We'll make it work.
Ted Cruz and man,
We could
make it work.
we could delve into the world of Tartera.
Yeah, let's do a little tease of Tartera.
All
for the
right.
viewers
I
of
will all right, so we've been working
So-
on this for a while. I've been slacking a little bit lately, but we're getting back on the horse because my video game partner partner in crime is not going to be on, so
Mhm.
I'm not going to have an easy distraction. But Tartera,
Yeah.
basically,
the
what's the premise? What should I
gen-
say? What shouldn't
genre.
I say?
genre? Start with at least.
Genre.
Yeah.
I'd say, well, I don't want it to fall into the trap of being a genre. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, you think of Lord of the Rings, you think fantasy, you think, we'll say
Fantasy.
it
It's
is,
fantasy.
yeah, I would say it falls into the realm of sci-fi fantasy, but I wouldn't go any further
Mm.
down that rabbit hole of
Mhm.
genre because that
But-
just limits what it can be. That doesn't mean I'm going to be all over the place with it.
Yeah, I
but-
mean, you want to have a genre because you want to make sure that people
It's
who
fiction.
like that genre will
It's
be
fiction.
excited for it.
It's fiction, and it is.
Well, I mean,
I would actually
there's
see.
magic in it.
I would.
So
Yes, but I would say it's science fiction.
it reminds me a lot of Avatar, the show. It's got that type of magic in it, but
Yes,
definitely a
but
twist on it.
it's not.
Huge twist,
It,
actually.
it's.
Major twist.
It could also be science fiction, right? So it's fantasy and sci-fi, right?
Yes, but I would say that the fantasy elements are more prevalent. Yes? No?
They are.
Yeah.
They are, but
Yeah.
I want it to be known that while this is fiction, there is a scientific explanation for everything in this world. I don't know if that's too much to.
Cool. Yeah, just like John, it's like you created. I mean, we all sort of kind of pitched in and like helped create it, but I mean, you came up with the initial. I guess we
Yeah.
should probably say the premise is like. I mean, go ahead and say the premise of the like the magical system. Just like what's different about this world?
The types.
No, you don't have to say the types. I don't think.
All
But
right.
maybe just like the conceit, like
So
what
people in this world of Tartara, one, they live in eternal daylight, right? They are blocked out from the sun. I mean, not blocked out from the night, right? They know of the night, but no one lives in the night that they know of. They can perform magic, and the magic is tied to the environment, and it comes from their minds and their interaction of their mind with the environment. And
But what like happens when they use magic though?
what happens when they use magic is it has a significant effect on their minds. Say for instance, someone is near the main body of water in our world. Well, magic near the main body of water in our world is stronger. A certain type of magic is stronger near that body of water, and it's connected to the environment. Those people can, it's called flow magic. They can manipulate wind and water. And what happens is it greatly affects their emotional state. And it also has like negative psychological and you know, because psychology is tied to physiology, negative psychological and physiological effects down the line.
Yeah, it's
like, so they have to take medication to counteract those side effects. But the magic also gives them, it can be great pleasure. Like flow magic can really numb people and make them extremely pleasurable. They're emotional states, though.
Sorry, John.
Emotional states.
John just moved, and I like thought his camera was frozen the whole time.
But that is the premise.
Yeah, to put it simply, I think for every magic has a cost, right? It's almost like MP in games, but it's worse than that. It's psychological. It's got a cool, almost like psychological horror, but not horror. But it's just, I don't know. It's psychological bent to the whole world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super cool.
People have to take medication to counteract the effects of magic, but it also kind of dulls the power of magic when you take it too. So
it does.
And I guess the main character, you know, has to deliver medicine and administer medicine to these people.
He's a medicine deliverer?
He is basically a medicine deliverer.
Is that it? Is that all he does?
No, that's not all he does.
Oh.
He's a healer in training, right?
Oh.
He's supposed to heal people from the side effects of magic.
Delivery boy with like medical marijuana. Is that
but also he he kind of has
Like CBD pizza.
he kind of has he
Way to
has a
explain that?
capacity.
Wait,
Him and people from his village have a capacity for empathy that is not average or normal, and they can feel to a degree what other people feel.
Yeah.
So when other people are feeling the side effects of magic, he can feel that with them,
Hmm.
and it's about his battle with that. And there are bad. Well, I'm not going to say good and bad guys, but there are consequential events that happen in the story, and there are I would say there's what you would probably perceive as villains in the story. I don't want to. They're all characters. I'm very inspired by that Game of Thrones idea, but
Mhm.
that's
Sorry, John.
there's
what-
definitely conflict. There's areas of conflict in the story outside of him just delivering medicine
Yeah, yeah. It's got like a
and
Death
administering.
Stranding kind of feel to it, where there's like in that game you go around and deliver stuff. It has that feel, but it's like that's just a structure to that's just his quest, right? Like lots of other things are going on.
Oh yeah.
I love the idea of there's a set quest. He starts in one spot, he's going to another spot, and then he's coming back. And it's all on foot or some sort of back, animal back, something.
It's
Beast,
not all on foot. It's not all on foot.
Oh yeah,
Some,
yeah.
yes,
Don't. Yeah, just yeah. That's all you need to say.
this
John, what's a CBD pizza? What did you say? You distracted me with that. No, I can't.
CBD is an element in. I sound like a narc anytime I talk about like weed or marijuana or anything. So
Yeah. Have you smoked
um,
the weed?
yeah, I have smoked recently, but yeah, CBD is an element. It's like I honestly I don't know how to describe it, but it's an element in marijuana that's like calming. There's a calming element to it, so it's in a lot of things like oils and things like that that people take to relieve stress and stuff like that. So CBD pizza would be like a relaxing pizza essentially, or just a normal pizza.
Yeah, I was confused why you threw pizza in there, but
Sorry.
I'm into it. Like put it in pizza. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had tacos for dinner tonight.
CBD tacos.
Actually, they were flautas. John,
Very cool.
you're missing out on the cooking.
sorry, I got distracted
I'm
for a
sure you
second.
missed the cooking.
How cool is it that
John
as
used to
soon as
live.
I leave here, Trump fucking has a rally in that fucking city, man?
Dude, we're gonna have to I'm gonna have to bleep out some expletives and like put a
Right.
mature warning on the video. It's supposed to be a comics for kids. No, not really. I
I
mean,
don't think Ronin's for kids.
Ronin is Tartara
or
is not
Torterra.
for kids.
Oh, I'm editing this, by the
I
way.
think it's for no.
Tor-
We're not editing this.
Torterra. Clark can be for kids.
I
Tartara.
think Clark is for
Dear
like
future Mrs. Cohen.
Tartara is a fairly mature subject theme.
yeah. I
About-
think Clark's his appeal like spans the everything.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's for
Whereas
kids. I would say
Tartara's
that
like
Clark is
It-
more like
it-
a Howard the Duck. It could be for kids, but there's stuff for adults too, for sure.
totally.
So,
Tartara's
Um,
definitely like 18 plus. Or 21, 25. No, it's not
like
I don't
47
think it's gonna
plus.
be
It's
as
not X-rated or anything.
edgy as that.
It-
It's just like rated R, I
It's
guess.
very mature subject material. It's yeah, that's all we have to say. It's there's gonna be violence in the world.
Mhm. We're not
People
holding
don't
back.
always use magic for good reasons in the world.
We don't want to do it for no reason, but we want to not hold ourselves back from doing
Yeah,
stuff like that.
it's definitely.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Cool.
probably most of it would probably go over a kid's head. Honestly.
Until later.
They wouldn't
until, like, 10
understand why
years
people are
later.
acting weird. You know what I mean?
Right,
But-
right. Until 10 years later when they're like, oh yeah, that's what that
Yeah.
that song meant. Oh, the Beatles song was about something different. So I think
Yeah.
we'll just wrap it up and end it. So it's been like, good amount of time. So
Yeah. Let me know if you.
Yeah.
By the way, future Miss Cohen and family, I'm so sorry if this gets me in trouble down the road. I
did
apologize.
you guys did great. This was great. I had a lot of fun. I hope you had a lot of fun too. Person, mom, whoever's watching this. So yeah. Oh, we should probably do something like
Where can people find
promote
us?
our stuff, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go first. It's patreon.com/WarHen Comics, WARHEN Comics, and then Instagram is at MaxGBArt.
Max Gebart.
What else are we doing? Oh, Twitch is twitch.tv/MaxonWard, MaxsonWard. Probably shouldn't have put my whole first name in there because it's a weird first name
Yeah,
that no one can spell. But
it's not that hard.
Well,
Well, people are terrible at spelling. I've learned this again the last couple days.
dyslexia is a thing. It
Yeah.
plagues
Oh,
people.
jeez. Yeah, that's
It's
you
rough.
can find me
Jamie
at-
Lannister beat dyslexia. You can. All right.
he did?
Yeah, Jamie Lannister was dyslexic.
Oh.
That was something
You
that
learn-
was something that's hinted at in the shows, and I think
If
it's
the
in the
actor who
books.
plays him is dyslexic, or his character is dyslexic.
His character's dyslexic.
I was so pumped.
In the show.
I just started book 3, and when the Jamie chapter came, I was so pumped. Just so
Yeah,
excited. to
you mean
finally
my
get it.
favorite character, Jamie Lannister?
Yeah. Actually, I didn't really know if he was going to be a narrator if we were going to tell stuff from his perspective. I wasn't completely sure. I just thought he would be a side character the whole time. So it was very
Yeah.
cool. All right, John, where can we find you, if
Find me
anywhere?
on-
You're not on most things.
You can find me in Dallas, Texas, 05150. No, I'm kidding. You
Careful.
can find me on Twitter at Gotham City JCC. That's my name. That's not the Jewish Community Center of Gotham City. Yeah, so I'm on Twitter. Look me up. Find me. If not, then I'm around if you ever care. So
Nice.
YouTube.com/Professor Peck. Not even worth going there yet. Nothing good on
tuned.
there yet. All right.
They'll subscribe in advance.
Yeah.
That first
All right.
video hits. All right, guys.
all right, guys.
All right. See ya.
Say bye. Speak.
Good boy.